Is this thing on? Okay. It's time. We have to start ranting about other things. What other things, you ask? Movies and just entertainment and in general, because we are on a very slippery slope right now. The last three trips at the movie theater, um, I'd say over three. Thor Ragnarok was the first one this past November, and then Justice League, and then now Star Wars. And guys, what? Just stinker after stinker, man. Let me tell you, dude. Um, I want to hit you all with like a thesis or something before I just start going off in a tangent. I am now a believer that Star Wars was really never that good, and it was never good at all. Maybe. Could we go that far? The last time I saw the movies was probably like 2013 or 2014. We uh, we grinded through all six of those. And let me tell you, man, Return of the Jedi. Oh boy, that's a tough one. Um, Empire's good. My favorite scene in all of Star Wars is Obi-Wan talking to Luke about the past. And New Hope. That movie's okay. And then the prequels, Jesus Christ, the prequels. And then now Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, man. Somehow, some way, The Last Jedi makes Force Awakens look like a timeless classic already. I don't know how Ryan Johnson managed to pull that off. Oh my god. I I was going into this movie thinking we have been over for the last like what feels like almost 10 years. We have been over. Excluding like Nolan movies, besides Dark Knight Rises, oh my god, that movie's awful. Um, Bane was good, but there's just so many. I mean, I this could be like a 4 hour video if we're gonna be honest. We have been over when it comes to deep sequels or just sequels that are just too far out there. When video games and movies. I've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe right here, and everyone loves this shit, right? From the top, Iron Man. It's okay. It's fairly entertaining. Robert Downey Jr. is the perfect actor, right? Incredible Hulk. Tim Roth is great. Movie, forgettable. Iron Man 2, absolute piece of shit. Thor was so forgettable that when I saw Thor 3, I didn't even realize that like his friends were missing. Like the Asgardian Four, whatever the hell their names are. I didn't even. Oh, actually, no, they're not missing. Spoiler alert. The main girl is missing, and then the other three get taken out in like 7 seconds. I had no idea who they were, and that movie came out 6 years ago. That's how forgettable that movie was. Captain America: The First Avenger is actually hard to watch. It's so boring. Tommy Lee Jones is in that movie. Oh my god, it's so bad. And then the Avengers came out, right? And this was the greatest movie of all time. But you go back and watch the Avengers, and it already feels dated. Like it already feels like you can just see the problems with the cinematic universe of just like not being dark in any way, shape, or form, and like party hard, joke here, joke here, joke here. None of the conflict really is that important. I mean, I'm a sucker for Iron Man trying to sacrifice himself. I really like that part, and it was, the first movie to really let you show what the Hulk was capable of. But that's when, like, I mean, when it came out, it was really the greatest thing of all time. And then I didn't see Iron Man 3 in theaters, right? I see this movie a few years later. One of the dumbest plot twists of all time? Can we say that? With the main villain being like a fraud? Holy shit. And then Thor Dark World. This is when you really had to look up. Thor Dark World is probably the worst Marvel movie. Looking at all these, yeah, it is. Without question. I will never see that movie again, and I don't even know what happened in that movie. That's how good that movie was, right? And then Winter Soldier comes out. April of 2014. This is before the blockbusters came out, right? By far the best Marvel movie. And it's funny too because it didn't have like an animated bad guy. The main hero doesn't fly around. He's kind of like a souped up Batman. He's like the most athletic, the most. He's just super athletic and super strong. And I mean, he's not just a regular dude. I'm not trying to say that at all. But it felt grounded. No one's flying in Winter Soldier, right? It felt like a good Jason Bourne movie. That's what I always noticed with that movie. He just kicks everyone ass. It has, its plot twist or whatever. Insane action using, modern weapons. It's Winter Soldier is nuts. Guardians of the Galaxy comes out 4 months later. And I'm at my internship at ASU, right? And everyone's saying how this is the best Marvel movie now. It's not Winter Soldier anymore. And everyone's slicing it. And I go to see this movie, right? By the time it's done, I want to puke. It's it I the whole movie was a joke. It could not take one scene seriously. I mean, it opens up with him and his mom dying. And then after that, I didn't know who he was. I didn't care. Sucks to suck. And I nothing about that movie connected to me. Groot. That's all he says. Just I am Groot, dude. Awful, right? And then Age of Ultron comes out. We're done. Introducing new. No, not done at all. Introducing new characters. You fucking kidding me? Age of Ultron comes out. This movie, this was supposed to be like, Ultron is a fucking super badass. He can go like toe to toe with the Hulk. The entire movie, they're just fighting like Iron Man clones that get one hit killed. That's the entire climax. And what's his name gets killed because he sacrifices himself, and they couldn't name him Silver Surfer. Was that it? No, I don't fucking know. I can't remember. They couldn't name him because of copyright disputes. That was dumb. God, that was like the first major disappointment as far as I was concerned. I could see it happening, right? This is only 2 years ago. And then didn't see Ant-Man in theaters. Ant-Man was okay. It wasn't as good as Iron Man, but it was definitely better than like Iron Man 2 and Captain America. Paul Rudd's funny. But Ant-Man is when they're like, okay, we can just make these movies comedies. That's when they figured it out. And then Civil War comes out last summer. That was just last summer. Wow. And somehow I got it in my head that Civil War was going to be like the Chunin exams, and the Chunin exams is arguably the best part of Naruto because all of the characters that you've just gotten used to, and you know what their backstory is because that's what they're doing in Marvel. All of these quote unquote good people, none of them are bad guys. Well, Gar, a majority of them are good guys, right? Are fighting each other in the Chunin exams, and it's really interesting. You know, Neji fighting his sister. I mean, just in the backstories that happen with all that shit, and it all, part one, not part one, stage one, it all climaxes, right, with Gar versus Rock Lee, arguably Naruto's best fight. It's like, this is what Civil War's gonna be. On the thumbnail, Tony versus Captain America. This is gonna be it. And they found a way. They found a way. One of the only scenes I can remember is Hawkeye fighting Black Widow. And he, either he pins her to the ground or she pins him to the ground. And he's like, we're still friends after this, right? And that's when I was just like, oh no. They're not even taking this seriously. It's called Civil War. And they're not even taking this one seriously. You know, you read the comic book, and what's his name? Oh my god, I just read this comic book. Thor, fucking robot reincarnated Thor kills, was his name Gigantic or something? He kills another superhero, and then that's when everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We can't be doing this. We can't be going this hard. And then they have the perfect chance with War Machine. And War Machine fucking lives through that movie. And then it's just like, that was the red flag. Civil War is the red flag, right? Of okay, Marvel's finding a way to fuck this up. They are absolutely not gonna go as hard as they can. And that's just really disappointed me. And then I saw Doctor Strange on Netflix this year. And holy shit, that movie was just Naruto. Oh my god. Kind of crazy. It was decent. Entertaining. It's sad to say that that's one of the better Marvel movies, right? And then you have these last two. I just saw Guardians of the Galaxy last weekend, actually, on DirecTV. Volume 2, that is. And if you look at the thumbnail of Galaxy Volume 2 and Thor Ragnarok, where's the tension in these posters? Where's any element of failure when you have neon green, neon orange, and neon blue? You can't have the hero encounter any potential failure when your movie is surrounded by neon colors on the poster. It just doesn't work like that. You look at the Avengers one and Captain America, and you can see the contrast. I mean, look at the city in the background of the Avengers. We are getting fucking shit on, and it's literally up to those 7 dudes to save us. And then you look at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and these movies are comedies first. The opening scene of Groot just trying to play the music, and it's a one-shot, and they're fighting the gigantic blob thing, and the camera just follows Groot while everyone's fighting the thing, and it's all funny, and you could just put a laugh track behind this movie, and Age of Ultron, and Thor Ragnarok. And Thor Ragnarok really took it to levels that I didn't think even Marvel could take it to. With Jeff Goldblum in that movie, holy shit, Jeff Goldblum in that movie is so bad. And before you hit enter on your Avengers Infinity War comment, I don't watch movie trailers anymore. At least I try not to. because they showed too much. That 2 minutes, man, then they could show the entire goddamn movie in 2 minutes. So I haven't seen the Infinity War trailer yet. That could easily be. I mean, in part one and part two of that's it right there. Spider-Man: Homecoming, forgot to mention that one. That movie's a comedy. It's a high school comedy that happens to be about Spider-Man. So now that we've established that none of the Marvel movies are good except for Civil War, basically. I'm gonna take a look. I'm on Ranker.com for best action films, right? And we're just gonna point out how many times, you know, these action franchises just completely got dissolved into the ground by a movie made in the last like 10 years. Terminator, 3 of them. The last 3, all stinkers. I just saw the first Die Hard this past year, I think. It was amazing. It was good. I've seen enough of A Good Day to Die Hard to know that holy shit, something went wrong. Spectre, James Bond, complete shit. Why were they making new Indiana Joneses? The newest Jason Bourne is maybe a 2 out of 10. Let's see. What else we got in here? Mission Impossible is one of the rare exceptions where like Tom Cruise. Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation were amazing. Predators, 1 out of 10. The last 2 Matrixes, and they are gonna try to remake another Matrix. They're gonna try to make the Matrix again. The Matrix came out in 1999, and they're gonna try to make the Matrix again. Oh man, Fast and the Furious is low-key one of my favorite franchises of all time. Fast 8, holy shit, dude. X-Men. We could make a different video for the X-Men. Let's see, X-Men 1, didn't like it. X-Men 2, nope. X-Men The Last Stand, easily the worst one. X-Men Origins of Wolverine, low-key the best X-Men. First Class, don't like it. I haven't seen the Wolverine. Days of Future Past is the second worst X-Men movie. Apocalypse is actually the worst X-Men movie. Let me correct myself. And Logan, just Patrick Stewart saying the F-bomb. And people getting like their heads just completely ripped to smithereens. So that's what I think about Logan. I won't see Men in Black 3 because there's no point. I mean, this is everything, dude. Alien, kind of overrated, but still insane. Aliens, amazing. Alien 3, holy shit, failure. Alien Resurrection is wow. And then I haven't seen Prometheus, but I have seen Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant is so goddamn bad. I mean, this is everything being ruined by movies made in the last 10 years. The Hunger Games is all complete garbage. Wow, it only goes to 28? Are you kidding me? What kind of bullshit is that? Where's like Kill Bill? I guess Kill Bill is only 2 movies. And then, I mean, video games, you guys know. You guys know. Do we even need to bring up like MCC or Halo 5 or Halo 4 or Gears Judgment or any Call of Duty game or Destiny 2 or post Overwatch patches? Let's see. Mass Effect Andromeda. What else have I wasted money on? I mean, how could you possibly be looking for Star Wars Battlefront 2? How could you possibly have any positive intuition about a movie coming out or a game coming out with the stinkers? Metal Gear Solid 5. Completely missing the end of the game. It just didn't get finished. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming, dude. Why would you ever think that it's going to be good? Of course, we all want it to be good. We always want these things to be good. Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't have a chance. Is Red Dead 2 going to be any good? I don't know. Probably not. And then back to Star Wars, dude. If you made it this far, start. Can I hit you all with some Star Wars spoilers? Yes. Last Jedi. If you wanted any questions answered about anything in this universe, you came to the wrong movie. If you wanted to have any idea who Snoke was, then unlucky. Just capital F. If you want to know who Rey's parents were, it's another capital F. This movie had the second worst subplot in the history of film. The only one worse that I've seen was the airplane sequence in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Shoutouts to anyone who knows what I'm talking about. Easily the worst sequence of all time. But Finn and Rose in the casino. Just probably a waste of 45 minutes at least. I have so many problems with that movie. Well, I don't want to talk about that movie because I've typed enough. I don't want to talk. So bad, and I was convinced that they couldn't mess this one up. You know, it was the second one out of 3. You know, you can't mess the second one up, man. The second one is the most important one. Because that's when the heroes get pushed against the wall and the bad guy wins. That's when the heroes are closest to defeat. Second act of the movie. Second act in the trilogy. How do you fuck that up? You know? The Lord of the Rings movies were good. And then The Hobbit came out. If you want to be in pain for 3 hours, for 9 hours, probably more than 9 hours, just watch the Hobbit movies. Have you guys seen Peter Jackson's King Kong? Have you guys seen the Jurassic World 2 trailer? They show the whole movie. You know, I covered my eyes and my ears when the Avengers one came out. I didn't do it for the Jurassic World one. I should have done it. They show you the whole movie. Annihilation with Natalie Portman, they showed practically the whole movie. Alpha, they show you the whole movie. Alita, that like animated chick that's like a robot, they show you like the whole movie in the trailer. I'll tell you a trailer where they don't show you the whole movie that looked fucking amazing. Unironically made by, is that the shit I just said? Ironically, I tried to sound smart there. That new Peter Jackson junk. That trailer was absolutely insane. What was that movie called? I couldn't tell you the name of that movie, pointing a gun to my head, but I can tell you what happened. You have the camera on a girl who's on like a 50-foot long, 100-foot long, like gigantic elephant looking Halo 3 vehicle, and she has a very distinctive like scarf on her face. Very distinctive. Like you can tell she's the main character and that shit is gonna be on, and it's gonna be on the toys too, right? And they're being chased by something. And she turns around and you think it might be like a monster, but no, it's another gigantic elephant. And this one is absolutely enormous, right? And the driver of elephant number 1 is like, he calls it something and she's like, no, it's not that. It's London. And the camera pans from them to the gigantic one chasing them. And you see that the Big Ben clock tower is on this fucking vehicle. And it's chasing them and it like absorbs them. And that's the end of the trailer. It was one of the best trailers I've ever seen. It's like 30 seconds long. I have no idea what the movie is called. Um, we are in a dark age of just capital L's and capital F's when it comes to um studio heads greenlighting decisions that affect these movies and continue franchises that should never be continued, restart them, um, just ruin previous plots. It's like, oh man. I mean, Mass Effect Andromeda and MCC and The Last Jedi, like, does it get any worse than those three? I spent $300 on Mass Effect Andromeda. I thought that I was gonna put 1,000 hours in MCC. I thought that The Last Jedi was gonna be the best Star Wars movie ever made, and like, I know I said a lot of generic shit, but and it's so much easier to roast these movies if I just had a copy of them on my computer. I mean, I could go scene by scene. You guys have seen my Overwatch videos. You should see how I think about these movies scene by scene. I mean, I did graduate with a fucking film degree, so maybe I know a thing or two. Maybe I don't.